The following program has been generously funded by the Patterson Foundation.
Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of This Book is Cool. I'm hoping we have lots of friends out in the audience today because we have a wonderful book to share with you. The book is Caps for Sale, and it was written by Esphyr Slobodkina. Esphyr Slobodkina. Isn't that an unusual name? We have a very special friend with us today who's going to share why he thinks this book is cool. Our special guest today is Lynn Dorler, and he's the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club of Charlotte County. Hi, Lynn.
Hey Beth, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
Real good, thank you.
I'm admiring your office, Lynn. You have so many cool things. I don't know how you get any work done with all of the fun toys you have to play with.
Well, I don't play with them.
Oh.
They're just there to display.
Okay, just for decoration.
Exactly.
Well, I'm so glad you've joined us today, and I'm very excited to talk about the book, Caps for Sale. So, what are some of the things that you like about this book?
And one of the things that really stands out and what makes it cool, it was written long time ago, 75 years ago, and it was based on a folk tale that's been around even longer.
I love the way certain stories live on and on from generation to generation. Stories like Cinderella are hundreds of years old. And so this is a great example of that, of a story that's so enjoyable that it can be enjoyed for years and years or even decades and decades.
Yep, and it reminds me of my childhood when my grandmother used to tell me that we used to talk about the nursery rhymes and stuff. So yeah, they go on for years and years. So it's a really cool part of the book.
I agree. It is a very cool part of the book. And our book author did such a great job illustrating the book and telling the story in such an enjoyable way.
Sure did. And the fact that the book, he's carrying his wares on his back and peddlers, his caps on his head, and he can balance these things. It's really, it's another thing that makes the book really cool, and it stands out. Really fun for kids.
And I want to show the picture of what you just mentioned. So this is a picture that is showing the peddler, salesman, with all of his wares, the things that he's selling. And look at how he carries all of the caps that he's selling in a tower on top of his head. That's very fun.
It really is. It's really cool. And it did a nice job illustrating that.
So I was also struck by the price of what he's selling, because 75 years ago, things weren't as expensive as they might be right now.
No, 50 cents for a hat? When I buy a hat, it costs me like $30 or $35 now, of my favorite team or my superheroes. Yeah, so it's pretty neat that it was 50 cents back then.
I agree, and it's so funny to think about the things nowadays that might cost many dollars. A loaf of bread costs, $3, $4. And when my grandmother was growing up, that same loaf of bread would have cost 5 cents.
Yeah, a nickel. Yep, it would have been a nickel, and I don't even know what costs 50 cents now. I'd have to look around the store to find something that was 50 cents.
Maybe if you could get 2 things in one package at the dollar store, you could say each one of those things costs 50 cents.
Maybe. That'd probably be the only way.
I was struck with all of the different illustrations in the book. And I know
Yeah,
that
yeah, and it really kind of reinforces the whole mystery of the peddler and his caps and what he did when he went to sleep. And several of the pages about looks up and down the artwork. It's really a different perspective on things. It really is. It's really cool.
So this is one of the pictures in the book. Now, I'm not going to tell you why or how all of these monkeys got the hats, because that's a mystery that you'll have to discover when you read the book. But you can see from these illustrations that with just a few colors, the artist was able to paint a very intriguing picture. Intriguing is another way of saying interesting. So, Lynn, without giving away the big mystery in the book, I found myself at the end of the book with a certain feeling. It's so funny, and I laughed right out loud when I got to the end of the book, and I'm hoping that as some of our friends read this book, or maybe read this book to someone else, that they'll be able to share a good laugh.
Me too, and that's the enjoyment of reading, and that's when you read something you enjoy and you can laugh and really relate to it. It really makes the book even better. It really does.
Now, I know at the Boys and Girls Club in Charlotte County, reading is one of the things that you do a lot of.
Yeah, every day. Every day a kid has to read from 20 to 30 minutes. They pick favorite books, favorite topics of books, you know, so we might not have a favorite book, but we'll have a topic, like we'll say sports for some of the boys and some of the girls like the mysteries and all that stuff. So the kids read every day, and it helps when we have our volunteers come in and they read to the kids or with the kids. It's really a magic. That's when the magic really happens.
And it's so much fun to share books that we think are cool with each other. So I thank you for sharing a book with us today. And I'm looking forward to being able to share more books with you and with all of our friends at the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Well, I hope someday I'll be able to do this again. It was a real fun time, and I really like reading and helping kids learn to read and enjoy reading. Because once they enjoy reading, they'll read for life.
Reading is the key to succeeding.
Correct.
Very good. Thanks, Lynn. It was great to see you.
Thank you, Beth. You have a great day.
I will.
You.
Bye.
Take care. Bye now.
That was really enjoyable to talk to Lynn about the book Caps for Sale. And it was fun to imagine what life was like 75 years ago. Can you believe that a loaf of bread only cost 5 cents? That's kind of amazing to think about. Caps for Sale also has some great words for us to add to our word bank. One of the first words is the word peddler. Peddler. Peddler is somebody who sells merchandise. So we nowadays might call that person a salesperson. Well, 75 years ago, they called that person a peddler. Another word for our word bank is the word wares. Now, that's not wares like wears our clothes. It's wares, W-A-R-E-S. The word wares means products or things you sell. So instead of merchandise, 75 years ago, they would call that wares. Another word for our word bank is the word leaned. So leaned. Leaned means to shift from being straight to being a little crooked. Leaning also means to put all of your weight on an object. So I could lean on the desk. Another word for our word bank is the word disturb. Disturb means to upset or to bother. We can add the word refreshed to our word bank. Refreshed means to have more energy or to begin anew. Refreshed. Have you ever heard somebody use the word refresh to talk about having a cold beverage? They might say, "Ooh, that was refreshing." The last word from Caps for Sale that we're going to add to our word bank is the word quite. The word quite means completely. So if I said, "That was quite nice," what I'm really saying is that was completely nice. Caps for Sale made me think about hats and all the different kinds of hats that people like to wear. And our activity is making a hat. Now, there are many ways that you can make a hat. Sometimes you can make a hat out of folding newspaper, but there's also a way that you can make hats out of paper plates or plastic plates. And this is a hat that we created out of a plastic plate. What we did is we took the plate and we just cut part of the rim. So now it fits on my head as a hat. I just used things that I had around the house to decorate my hat. I had some colored paper and I had some beads that I glued on and some ribbons. But you could make a hat out of anything that you might have around the house. I'm hoping that you'll take the time to make a hat and take a picture of it and send it to us. We'd love to see what you create. You can send a picture of your hat by emailing it to connect@gradelevelreadingsuncoast.net. I hope you also will think about sending us your own episode of This Book is Cool. All you would need to do is select a book and then tell us the reasons why you think that book is cool. You could also give us some words from the book for our word bank and maybe suggest an activity that would go along with the book. Once you've completed your episode, we'd love for you to, by emailing it to connect@gradelevelreadingsuncoast.net. It was really fun to explore the book Caps for Sale with Lynn today. I hope you'll take the time to read this book and read many other books. Remember, reading is the key to succeeding. We hope we'll see you again very soon. Thanks for spending some time with us today. Bye-bye.